Shuvalova. She is a Fulbright scholar and a lecturer at the National University of Kiev. Maria, thank you for making some time for us. I know it's a very tense time where you are. It's almost 10 p.m. What is it like for you right now, for you actually and your family?
Thank you so much. Thank you for talking about Ukraine. Actually, I were living near the airport, so right now I'm with my family trying to find safer place, because if you're living near the airport, it's nice recommendation to get to the shelters that it's not near the military objects. And this morning, lessons on my university was suspended, and my students voluntarily went to Ukrainian army to territorial defense. Some of my relatives went to territorial defense, and all the day I can't eat. I just speaking with Western media explaining that actually we're not having this war since yesterday, but this war started 8 years ago. So people are pretty having high spirit. Our military is well trained, and we're doing as much as we can, but still we need severe sanctions and more weapon, and we definitely would like Russia to turn off from SWIFT. So I'm kindly asking everyone who can support and to make it possible. And right now we are dealing with severe stress. But we are trying to be on touch. We are believing on our army, and life looks like sitting on your own stuff and speaking with Western media, or giving an interview on rented on borrowed car. So everything changes each 10 minutes. Everything develops so fast, and it's impossible to stay on touch, and we are doing whatever is possible to be safe and to help our army and to help our people, because actually it's not a fight for Ukraine, it's also a fight for Europe and the world, because it's not a time to be very passive. You can be pragmatic. You can understand that Ukraine is important economically and in this context for whole Europe, and we would love to have this fight. We would like to win, and we would like more support for around the world. And I'm grateful that I can speak about that freely today in your studio. Thank you so much.
And Maria, I want to ask you, you mentioned that you're in a car right now, and you were looking for somewhere safe to go with you and your family. Are you driving right now?
Right now, my father is driving. My husband is watching news, so it's a team job. Also, I'm always on touch with my students, promoting help and giving emotional support for them. So we are divided our obligations. We're doing whatever we can.
You know, a lot of people that we're hearing from who are on the ground there, reporters saying that in Kiev, for example, there wasn't really an expectation that this would happen overnight, that things appeared normal. People were going out for dinner yesterday. They did not think that something like this would happen so fast. Tell me how you are feeling about it all, and what your last night was and what you woke up to this morning.
Exactly, you're absolutely right. Our working, I were translating hilarious comedy from English to Ukrainian for a media company, and I finished it quite late. Then I read news that we may have an attack, so I started charging my stuff. Then, as I believe in our army, I slept for 2 hours, and my husband woke me up and said, "You have to pack," and I just wake up and pack, and he was surprised, like, "Why are you packing? Are you knowing everything?" Because I suspected that. Then my lessons was suspended at university, and we're really shocked, because we feel like we're living life of our ancestors, like Second World War, because a lot of Ukrainians were dealing with that during Second World War, and it's like historical circle. It has already been. We have already been there, and we are here again. So, and it's true. It's extremely fast. Everything right now, I'm living 4 lives right now. So it's extremely intense, and you can be focused only on immediate stuff, on what will happen next hour, and you can plan tomorrow, you can plan your next week. So it seems like that.
And to that very point of, you know, you're just planning your next immediate step. Where will you go? As we know that there have been attack spots all over the country, from the north, from the east, from the south. Are you heading west? Where will you go? Where is safe?
Exactly. I just had a decision to leave my apartment near the airport 10 minutes ago. So I packed for 3 minutes, and I'm 7 minutes driving in my car, and I still have to decide and agree it with my family. So that's how it's happening, everything here. Also, I'm in touch with other people who are trying to find a safer way to be here. So everything is processed.
You know, I want to bring back something that you mentioned when we first started our conversation, that some of your students, in fact, when the lecture was canceled, they joined the army. And you're staying in touch with them. How are they doing?
They are doing pretty fine. They are very wise, and a lot of my students have already seen what I'm seeing right now, because a lot of my students are from Donetsk and Lugansk, and they immediately understood what they have to do. And another of my students that joined Ukrainian army, their parents were in Ukrainian army. So my student Bogdan told me that he is a son of Ukrainian soldier, and he have to protect. So it's actually wars. A few generations are taking part in this one war. So they are really motivated. The spirit is strong. We are proud of our army, and we're trying to live our life here, to do our best here every second. And I have another student who is from Belarus, and he was a refugee. He came to Ukraine to study, to have better future, and he had to grab a document from Belarus. So now he's stuck here. He's afraid that he will be forced to fight against his own mates, against his teachers, and he supports Ukrainian army and help and trying to avoid that, because it's an example how victory of Ukraine, that will be victory not only for Ukraine, but for my students abroad, for my students from Belarus.
You know, I do want to ask you, I'm sure you've heard, you said your husband is monitoring the news while you guys are trying to drive somewhere to find a safe place to go. You may have heard that Canada, the United States, the UK have announced a variety of stiff sanctions against Russia at this stage because of the action that they've taken in Ukraine. Do you think that that is enough? What would you like to see NATO allies do to help the situation where you are?
We feel that weapons that we are getting really help to make our life safer and make more democracy here. But actually, we're begging to keep giving us weapons, and we are begging to turn off Russia from SWIFT, to stop diplomatic relationship, and we have to push harder and harder, because their troops are going to the Kiev, and they are not stopping. We can't stop pushing on them right now, because they are not.
Well, Maria, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with us. We certainly hope that you find safety. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for your job.
That is Maria Shuvalova, and she's in Kiev. Thank you.